Pariah, a person without status, a rejected member of society, an outcast. Today we are going to be dealing with all of those feelings on Movie Stars. I am your host, Melanie Snare, and we are at Charis Books and More in Little 5 Points to catch up with a couple of the stars, the director, and the producer for the new feature film, Pariah.
Heartbreak opens onto the sunrise, for even breaking is opening. And I am broken. I'm open. See the love shine in through my cracks. See the light shine out through me. My spirit takes journey, my spirit takes flight, and I am not running. I am choosing.
Pariah and Kim, welcome to Atlanta.
Thanks so much.
So have you spent much time here before?
I haven't.
No?
It's my first time.
Oh,
This is my
wow.
first time as well, too.
Well, good.
Yeah, very,
well, I
very
hope you guys
excited.
enjoy it.
Oh, thank
we wanted
you.
to do it a little bit different today, so we brought you to Charis Books, which is very fitting because it's an independent feminist bookstore, but they also specialize in gay and lesbian-friendly books, so on and so forth. So we thought it'd be a cool place for the interview.
It's a beautiful store.
Yeah, it's very unique. So Sarah, you are the owner of Charis Books and More, right?
I'm the co-owner, yes.
Co-owner. Okay, so tell me about this bookstore. It's really cool. It's independently owned.
We're a 37-year-old feminist bookstore.
Wow.
So we've been here since 1974 in this neighborhood.
That's incredible.
I've been here for 17 years. I haven't been here the whole time, and I have one business partner. We are really a community space. We have a sister nonprofit, the Charis Circle, which funds and promotes all the programming that happens here. There are about 13 feminist bookstores left in the U.S. and Canada. So,
And you are one of them.
and we are one of them. We're really proud and happy
Right.
that we're still here.
So we're obviously here to talk about Pariah. Let's talk a little bit about what this journey was like for the two of you and your characters.
It was amazing for me. You know, I come from a comedy background and I've been, thirsting to do something dramatic for a while. So it was just such a wonderful blessing that Dee and Nikisa were open, the producer and director were open to reading me for this role, and I got it. And the journey has just been amazing. It was such a beautiful script. I read it and my heart just went,
Yeah,
it just burst open. It's just like, oh, I want to be a part of this so desperately, and so thankful that it worked out. But it's really just been such an amazing journey working with Pariah and everybody else, and telling this story, this very relevant, very beautiful, very moving, universal story.
So you're kind of a newcomer, if you will, to the whole acting scene. All of this is very new for you. Let's talk about your story of how you got started, because a lot of people kind of grow up in it. Like Kim, her whole family is in this world. But for you, you took a total drastic turn to go into acting.
Yeah, it's just been, starting from the bottom. I didn't know any actors. I didn't know anything about acting. I just kind of figured it out. And luckily one day I got an email about this casting for Pariah, and it was so fresh and exciting. I just wanted to be a part of it. I wasn't thinking about being the lead. I was thinking about maybe being an extra, hopefully, and I got a call from Dee to come in for Alike, and so that was 5 years ago, and now here we are. So it's been this amazing journey with people who are like family, and so it's like this weird thing of, this is very familiar, but it's all fresh and new and kind of exciting to kind of get to this point on where we started from this small, very intimate project. And now people are seeing it, so it's pretty exciting.
So this Pariah has been kind of your baby. It's been a very personal journey for you as well. And you wrote it during your own coming out experience.
Yeah.
So let's talk about all of that.
Yeah, it's funny because initially, it wasn't anything I was ever going to write about. And, Nikisa was like, you should put this down. And I was like, are you crazy? I don't want anybody to know about this. I want to forget about this as soon as possible. But yeah, so I wrote it when I was going through my own process. And, it really helped me to kind of work through the issues that I was struggling with. So Alike in the film, it's not so much coming out, but she's coming into. She knows that she loves women. That's not her question. Her question is how to be in the world. And that in a lot of ways mirrors my struggle when I first came out, was like how to be. And so in Alike's case, she's got this best friend who's pushing her to be one way. That's not really her personality. And at the opposite end, she's got her mother pushing her to be a different way. So she's in this tug of war, constantly trying to please different people.
I read where while you were on set at one point, there was a moment where you were like, this is what I was born to do.
Yeah.
Tell me about that moment.
Yeah, it was, I just remember it was in between shots, and I don't remember if the scene was super intense or maybe it was like an in-between kind of scene, and I just remember everyone was like buzzing around, and I just remember thinking, that feeling of, I don't know how to describe that feeling of like this is where I belong, like just this is where I belong. And I remember the exact moment, and I was like, wow, like this is, yeah. So it was just, it's like a powerful thing when that awareness happens for somebody, I think, and you know, hopefully everyone has that awareness at some point in their life. So it was very powerful for me.
You quit your job though to work on Pariah, correct?
I did. It took me about 4 years that I moonlighted. I left Colgate and went to work for L'Oreal and took like 3 months off and kind of explored the whole independent producing thing. We made another short film. And then it was when we were making Pariah, I accepted a job with General Electric. And it was kind of like, it was one of those things where I was like, oh, I want to go independent, but I'm just concerned about being able to feed myself, right. And you know. And so I took the job on the condition that they would give me 2 weeks to shoot Pariah, the short film, and that was kind of the beginning of the end. You know, after having that experience, I knew that this is what I was, you know, put on this earth to do, really, to support artists.
And how does that feel for the two of you to know that you are in the right place and that you're making a difference in, you know, the artist and just everybody that's out there that's going to see this, what an impact it's going to make on their life?
Yeah, it's really fulfilling, and I think that when you do what it is you're put on the earth to do, like life starts to make a lot more sense, you know. And like before, you know, coming to film, you know, I was working in brand management and was, you know, I got laid off my first job and was on an improvement plan on my second job, so it just wasn't quite working out. And
right.
And like now, you know, like since going into film, it's like, okay, this is like what I'm good at, this is what I'm supposed to do, and so it's like your life starts to make sense, you know, when you find that thing.
So tell me about your character and how you have related and grown with her through this whole process.
Yeah, Alike is a teenager who's just trying to figure out who she is. She's juggling multiple identities with her family and her friends and school, and so she's trying to figure out who she wants to be and trying to be free. And so kind of what I related to that feeling of not knowing who you are, not feeling free, kind of feeling held down by all your experiences and circumstances, and this feeling of there's just somebody who's just awesome and great inside of you, but it's covered with all this stuff, and trying to uncover all of that.
And Kim, talk to me about your relationship as your character with Alike.
Well, I play Alike's mom, Audrey, and you know, I'm just in a very unhappy place in my life. You know, my marriage is crumbling. My children are, you know, not where I want them to be. You know, I'm not as close with them as I'd like to be. My daughter is a lesbian, and I'm very conservative and religious and just not able to embrace that about her. And so I'm doing everything in my power to try to steer her in a different direction. And obviously that's not working. And I find that to be very, very disheartening and debilitating. So my journey with her is one of conflict, of major conflict, because I'm, you know, the thing that's in the way of her being able to express her true self and to just be in the world as she is. And so that, you know, mother-daughter conflict is pretty overwhelming.
And I think it's so relatable to so many people, whether it's that you're trying to come out or it's other things that you have going on in your life. What kind of feedback have you gotten from people who have seen the film, which is incredible, and what have you gotten from them about their stories?
People love the film, and they come and speak to us afterwards and tell us very personal stories. Like, I get a lot of, you know, oh, you reminded me so much of my mom, or you were so much like my father. You know, now I think I understand him better. You know, and that's a huge compliment for people to say that they understand what that resistance was all about, you know, as a result of seeing this film, of seeing Pariah, and, you know, journeying with Audrey through her struggle. And so I get a lot of that.
I speak to all kinds of people who are able to relate to the film in many different ways, you know, all kinds of people. You don't have to be young, you don't have to be black, you don't have to be from New York to get something from it. You don't have to be, you know, it's like parents and teenagers and kind of people who are in between and just, you know, just relating to not belonging and trying to find out who you are and trying to fit into boxes that people kind of put upon you. So that's what's really cool about this project, that it can be so specific, but yet so many people can relate to it. And I think that's the power of film.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I think it's going to open so many people's eyes, you know, which is amazing to be a part of a project like that, you know, like it's not, right, it's not like just go watch a movie, oh, that was a feel good, like, okay, like people are going to take this hopefully and implement that into their lives, which is awesome. Pariah is the kind of film that will truly make an impact on your life if you take the time to see it. It hits theaters in January in Atlanta. You need to go check it out. I am going to do my part by cultivating community and shopping indie. Don't forget to check out Charis books and Little 5 Points.